How's it going, YouTube? Coach Joe here of the Atlanta Talent Flames. I'm here to bring you Week 2's Team Builder and Battle of the Victory Draft League. I am, as always, your coach of the Atlanta Talent Flames. You guys have been seeing a lot of battles going up on the channel. And we're currently at 57 subscribers, trying to get to 100 by the end of the year. It's probably not going to happen, but that was just a personal goal of mine, was to get to 100. For the 57 that are currently subscribed, I can't thank you guys enough. I honestly didn't think I was that good enough to get to 57 in the time that I did. But getting back to the basics, we are 0-1 right now in the standings. We took a loss last week to the Rolled Gold Pretzels. I'll have a link in the description and also an about somewhere in the time of the team builder. You guys will see it come up. We took a loss to him, unfortunately, 2-1. He got revenge on us from a previous draft week. And now we're going up against the Boltund Bashers, who are 1-0. Now, I know what it shows here, that the green is the good and the red is naturally the bad. As it turns out, it's the top 2 in each of the 4 divisions. So Ruby, Sapphire, Diamond, and Pearl division. Top 2 and then 4 wild cards. Site's been a little off on that, but nevertheless, that's a thing for another time. Let me also X those off. Let's take a quick look at his team real quick. He's got Gmax Hatterene, Celesteela, Garchomp, Bisharp, Lipard, Moltres, his mascot Boltund. Second week in a row we're dealing with a no, that's false. I mean, the Pretzels are literally actually a company. So this is the first week of an actual mascot. Kabutops, Leafeon, Type Null, and Tyrogue. He has not brought Kabutops, Leafeon, Type Null, Tyrogue, or Bisharp before. Garchomp I can understand. Ground type plus flying type. Spam Earthquakes and have no problems with that, or spam Rock Slides or anything like that. Celesteela with Beast Boost. It's definitely a threat for sure. Gmax Hatterene, it's Trick Room. And from what I was told by a friend of mine, apparently there's a strategy where Hatterene Gmax maxes uses Max Guard, and then Lipard uses like Fake Out or Protect or something like that, but then he uses Copycat on the Hatterene, so he gets Trick Room, and then the Hatterene goes to town. Now, I don't know if he knows about that strategy before. I've heard about it. I don't think I've ever seen it before. But if he does that, I heard about it. Moltres, Kanto Moltres. It's rock weak, and then Boltund. You really didn't do much with it. It only came the one time, I guess, or 2 times it came to 2 of his games. But yeah, he's got a good team. That could be Eviolite, that could be Eviolite. He would probably only bring the Leafeon if he's doing Moltres, like Sunny Day, probably. Or even Hatterene Gmax with Sunny Day for a Max Flare or something like that. Let's get into the team. So, I'm basically bringing the same team that I did last week. Tailwind is not there, it's just there. I thought that Tailwind was legal. But I guess for Cottony, it's not, according to VGC, because it's a transfer move. I'm not 100% sure on that, so I want to follow the VGC rules in a sense. So they'll still have fake tiers there, but I did give a Dazzling Beam because you saw last week what happened with that battle, where I tricked the Black Sludge, I got an Assault Vest in return, and I couldn't do anything with that Cottony afterwards. It was worthless in a sense. Regidrago's coming back. I'm gonna hope that maybe if I lead with the Regidrago, maybe I'll Dynamax and just take out the Lipard, so I don't have to worry about the Lipard copycat strategy. But that's probably a risk and all that, because he's got Hatterene of all things. Girder Trunk is next. The Copperage with Heavy Slam, Heat Crash, High Horsepower, Brick Break. Sudowoodo is back with the Red card, Protect, Rock Slide, Poison Jab, Mega Horn is a new one. It's got Mega Horn this week. Zombies back, Trick Room, Sludge Bomb, Hex. And I'm going to try Imprison, but probably it's just going to be light screen again, if anything. And then Vista, the changes are Thunderbolt and Ice Beam with the specs and adaptability. Ice Beam is there for the Garchomp. Thunderbolt's there for the Celesteela and the Moltres. And if necessary, the Kabutops. Shadow Ball's there for the Hatterene. And Max, Strike for if I just want some speed control on that. So without further ado, guys, we are actually going to get into that battle. I'm looking forward. I'm hoping, we give him a good matchup. As always, that's all I care about is, giving my opponents a good matchup, giving you guys a good battle to watch, even though, we're still a small channel. And yeah, we will see you guys at the battle. Hey guys, Coach Joe here, ready for our battle against the Boltund Bashers in Week 2 of the Victory Draft League. I am the coach of the Atlanta Town Flames, as always. We get our team set up here. And we're going to see what he brings and, just go from there. Yeah, we'll listen to Calyrex for the music. Alright, let's see what he's got. Celesteela, Hatterene, Boltund, Garchomp, and he did bring Bisharp and type Null for the first time. Ooh, interesting. So that makes me wonder. Hmm. I don't think any of those can get Copycat, now I'm thinking about it. So I'm going to do Scolipede and Copperage in the front. We'll see how that works. It most likely will not do anything. With Regidrago and Porygon Z in the back. Let's see how that works. So Scolipede, Porygon Z, and alright. Let's see what happens here. I mean, as you guys know, I'm not the greatest VGC person. I'm still learning all this stuff. Alright. Celesteela, Garchomp. Okay. So by that logic, I'm actually going to Steel Surge the Garchomp. We'll see what happens there. So I can see what the strategy is, going with the Earthquake like I anticipated. Okay, what is he maxing? The Garchomp, presumably? Ooh, the Celesteela. Okay. Okay, this is interesting. I'm getting the Copperage G-maxed. We'll see how this works. Earthquake comes out, makes sense. Does a lot more than I thought. Oh, it's Life Orb. Okay. So we got that. Max Steel Spike. Makes sense into Scolipede. That's fine. I think I'll just go for it and see what happens. So you know it's Life Orb, so... But I'm also plus... No, they're +1 defense. Okay, Garchomp goes for Protect, that's fine. Okay, that's actually smart. Get the Airstream KO there. And what's its stat that it gets boosted? Attack. Alright, we get the sun up. Alright, so we know they're faster, definitely. Yeah, Earthquake comes out, that's fine. It'll knock out the Copperage. Unfortunately. Porygon Z gets a KO with Ice Beam. A physical attacking Celesteela. That's definitely a new one. I'm assuming... Let me see something. Oh wait, that's level 100. Alright, so Regidrago will at least... It'll get something. And Hatterene. Okay. Alright, so he will definitely be taking me out here. So, I mean, at the very least... You can see how much this would do at full health. Not a lot. Heavy slam. One shot. We'll just throw that one out. He had 3, and I had 0. Oh. Play the same rules. Alright, let's see what happens here. I can use the red card. This is something. Celestial. Thunderbolt. I really do like Copperage in this battle. Let's see how this works. That's actually really interesting. Celestial and Boltund. Competitive is its. We'll just do that one. Well, Max Strike. And Fake Tears of Celesteela. Alright, and he's maxing a Celesteela. Goes for Nuzzle, actually. Okay. So it's got Earthquake then. We know that. Max Strike comes out. And I think the Boltund went down. Oh, it's sashed. Oh, but it's not... Okay. Um, we'll just degleam then, I guess. And just take out the Boltund. Cottony will get a KO. That did a lot less than I thought. That did a lot less than I thought. What the heck is going on here? That did a lot less than I thought. That really did a lot less than I thought. That's really interesting. But we know the Boltund is sashed. We know that for a fact. Alright, he withdraws Hatterene, that's fine. Sends out Garchomp, okay. Makes sense. Rough Skin comes out, that's fine. Get the special defense boost. Alright, Max Lightning comes out. Let's see how much this does this time. That cannot... What in the Sam? That's... Something's not adding up here. There's no way Porygon Z should be doing that little of damage. Even at +1. In electric, it makes no sense. Okay, the Life Orb comes out. It's going to probably take out both of them. Yeah, it's fine. What in the heck was that? There's no way. What the heck did that... Something's not up. Something's not adding up there. I mean, I'm fine with losing the 2-0, but something doesn't add up. That Celesteela should not have... Unless I'm reading the calcs wrong, that thing should never have been... Huh. This is gonna warrant some investigating, guys. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna have to look into it, but I'm gonna try to get him on a call real quick, guys, and see what happened there. So we will see what happens. And we're back, everybody. After discussion, I figured out what had went wrong. Thankfully, my opponent is gracious enough to give us his time to, have a little post-game interview and discuss the game. And he can also alleviate what I had missed, bringing on Coach Goomer of the Boltund Bashers. How are you doing, fam?
Good. How are you doing, Joe?
Doing all right. So do you want to explain what you had told me that I guess I must have missed? Because literally in the video, it'll show I'm like, this isn't making any sense. Like, do you mind explaining what I was missing?
So obviously the Celesteela got fake tears, and so it's at -2. However, I had a Soul Vest, which essentially gives it a +1. So I'm really at -1, and then I max Quaked, which basically neutralizes it, because then I'm at then I have the Quake boost and the Assault Vest, but then I have the fake tears, so that kind of wash. It's a wash there. But what happened is turn 1 you max strike the Boltund, and then I snarled you, so you were actually at -1 when you threw off your first max lightning.
So that's what happened. So that was what I was trying to figure out here. And I mean, I see that it's Strong Jaw, Psychic Fangs. I'm assuming that's only there for if I try to go screens or something like that.
Well, it was there to cover Scoliopeed too, or the Hitmonchan. I was actually kind of scared of the Hitmonchan with Fake Out, or potentially like Thunder Punch, because my Celesteela, obviously I had Assault Vest and Special Defense investment, but I didn't have any physical defense. So I was maybe scared like a Thunder Punch or something. So to cover for that Hitmonchan, I threw on Psychic Fangs, yeah.
I mean, the superpower was an interesting one, because when you did Max Knuckle, I was like, what kind of fighting type move could Celesteela? Because in my other league, in my singles league, which we do uploads on Fridays, I'm using the Celesteela, but I'm using it the way that a friend in a different league that I did on Showdown did, where he did Autotomize to get the speed boosts, and then it was a special attack. It was a special attacking monster.
Yeah, it's better. I mean, it has a little bit higher base special attack, so I would have preferred to run it special. But when I looked at what you had, like, for example, the Caporaja and the Porygon Z, I was like, well, Knuckle hits them hard, which is nice. Now the problem is, I have Max Quake as well with Stomping Tantrum, but if I'm not Dynamaxed, Stomping Tantrum's only 75 power, and Super Power is 120, so I figured that would be better, if I wanted to hit you out of Dynamax. So I ran physical for that reason.
And I see, and I mean, you said Stomping Tantrum, and I see that. I was like, must have Earthquake on that thing. But then I'm like,
yeah, I don't know why it gets Stomping Tantrum. Doesn't really make any sense, but it does. So I was like, well, I'm using it.
Why not? And then the Life Orb Guard Chomp with Rough Skin, I can understand that. Protect to scout it out and whatnot. I'm surprised you didn't have Outrage or something like that on it.
So the problem with Outrage is in doubles you can't pick your target. It's just a 50-50 coin flip. So, if let's say Cottony's out there who's Fairy type, I didn't want to risk outraging into a Cottony. Although, yeah, I did think about running Outrage for stronger max dragons, and just for bigger damage on the Regidrago if you did have the Dragonberry, Habanberry, or or just a lot of bulk.
Yeah, my Regidrago, I've run like Dragon Fang on it because I was thinking like, Tailwind on Cottony was going to be a thing because that was the main reason I drafted it, and then to find out that Tailwind is a transfer only move from Gen 7 and it technically makes it illegal in Gen 8 is, kind of nullifying that sort of thing. So the real shocker that I'm seeing here is Max Speed Hatterene. That is interesting.
So I was actually really expecting Gengar to come out because of the Poison and the Ghost, which both threaten Hatterene. But and I think that's why I brought Bisharp to counter it. But the thing about Hatterene is that if I'm max speed, like it gets up to like 81. So if I nuzzled with Boltund and Hatterene, so it was really for like Regidrago stuff or other Pokemon like the Gengar, because Gengar, I think Modest Gengar has like exactly double Hatterene speed. So if I could have nuzzled, it could have been a speed tie depending on if you were max speed, and then I could have just like Psy-Shocked you or something. So it's kind of situational, but the main reason was basically like I wanted to really make sure I outsped like Caparajah or even that Slow King if you brought them, and I wasn't running Trick Room, so I was like, well, I can just run max speed and possibly like throw off a nuzzle to be annoying and just spread that paralysis.
And the Kevia Berry is there just so that we, in case there's a poison type move, you can probably survive something with it.
Yeah, I think I would have lived Poison Jab, and I think I live Sludge Bomb from. I live Sludge Bomb from Gengar too. And the thing about, I thought about running the Ghost Berry as well, but I figured you had more poison types. It's just might as well run the Poison Berry and the Steel Berry. I was like, well, Browser is a good max candidate too, so I didn't want to run Fabry Berry because I figured I'd just get killed.
Now the question that I have for you is, because I've heard about it before, but I'm not sure if it actually does work. Did you ever consider the Trick Room copycat strategy against me?
I did, but I was worried about possibly Room Service or like Iron Ball on either the Slow King Galar or the Caparajah, and I didn't want to risk setting up a Trick Room with, Celesteal is kind of slow. I wasn't running any speed in it, but I didn't want to risk setting up Trick Room and then having you kind of, use that to your advantage on me. So I figured I would just, I wouldn't run Trick Room. I did think about bringing the Liepard for Fake Out and stuff, which would be nice. But the problem is I waste a turn of Max, Max guarding and then copycatting as well. So I was like, in this matchup, you've got some good counters, and not only are they good in Trick Room, they're good specifically against Hatterene. So I was like, it really doesn't make sense to try to go Trick Room this week. But
just to be clear, that actually does work, correct? Like you can actually.
Oh yeah. So the issue is, so if I use Hatterene Max Guard and a copycat Liepard, it works if Liepard's the next to move, which Liepard is Prankster, so it's +1. The problem is, like, if you used, you could Fake Out Liepard. You could have like somebody who's faster with a priority move. Liepard's pretty fast. It's like 106 base speed or 105, and so you had somebody who's faster, or like somebody who had +2 priority, like somebody with Follow Me or somebody with Ally Switch. Like those would go before Copycat. So then I would end up copycatting that move instead of the Max Guard Trick Room. So there are some ways to counter it. So it's a little risky, but depending on the matchup, yeah, it can be really useful.
Yeah, because I've heard about it before, but I've never really seen it before and whatnot. And then naturally, I said if there was going to be any Eviolite mon, it was going to be the type Null, or it was going to be the type Rogue, because just why not? They're pre-evolutions for a reason. And I shudder to think about a time when Tyrogue will actually be seeing itself in a battle, to be honest.
Oh, one of these weeks you'll see him. Don't worry. I considered bringing him this week, but we'll save him for somebody else.
Okay, fair enough on that. And then Bisharp, I mean, Akaberry, I can understand that just for, why not? I mean, even though...
Chandelure.
Okay, that makes sense because of Chandelure. I mean, that was also something that I considered bringing, maybe like, you brought Moltres, I could get like a Flash Fire, if anything. But, I mean, that Garchomp was just so intimidating. I was like, I can't bring Chandelure. I can't bring Gengar, even though Gengar naturally outspeeds it, but it can't knock it out. Scolipede technically outspeeds it naturally, but, Celesteela with Max Airstream, it'll get that set up. And then Manectric, I looked at Manectric for Ice Fang. Ice Fang with Choice Band.
Didn't actually know it gets Ice Fang. That's interesting.
Yeah, it gets all the fangs minus poison, but pretty much everything that gets the elemental fang. Pretty much everything that gets the elemental fangs cannot get poison fang for some reason. It's weird.
That's weird because Boltund doesn't get Ice Fang.
It doesn't get Ice Fang?
Yeah, that's like the one Fang mode. I mean, it doesn't get Poison Fang either, but for some reason, Boltund doesn't get the Ice Fang either. So that's interesting that Manectric gets it.
Yeah, because that was something that I was looking at bringing with the Ice Fang and whatnot. Because I mean, granted, I would need Choice Band and Adamant Nature and Max Attack and whatnot, and even then, I would barely have a chance of being able to knock out the Garchomp in one shot.
Well, I didn't have any HP investment, so.
Okay, that might be something that I didn't do in the calcs or whatnot. But yeah, I mean, it is weird, isn't it? Like how, you think about all the elemental fangs. I mean, technically, poison is a type of elemental fang in a sense of things, because it does have a chance of inflicting a status condition, albeit I think it's a little higher than the others. Let's look it up real quick. Poison fang, 30% chance.
Yeah.
And actually, it was 30% Gens 3 to 5, Gen 6 every other turn.
Wow, 50% chance. That's huge.
Yeah, and then like you would think like with all the other moves and whatnot, you would think that it would like all the other elemental fangs, you would think that they would be on their thing, but apparently, hold on, I think there is only one mon that can. Now that I think about it, okay, so Drapion technically gets the elemental fangs, but it can't learn psychic fangs. So
that's a dark. Makes sense.
Yeah, so it's like it looks like if they did give a Pokemon 4 Fang moves, they took one out deliberately, just to
not give them all that coverage.
Which definitely makes sense, especially for like ones that have like the Boltund with Strong Jaw. I mean, Strong Jaw would definitely packs a wallet.
Yeah. Did you ever look at did you ever look at Hitmonchan in this matchup? Because I was kind of scared of Hitmonchan.
I honestly did not. Like, Scolipede was definitely there. I'll tell you this, I did try a funny thing. It was a joke from a friend of mine a while back when I first did like Twitch streams, and and I did it on the stream, and surprisingly it worked. Power Spot plus Life Orb, Steely Spirit, Dynamax Berserker.
Oh my.
Surprisingly, it worked because, I mean, you don't really anticipate a Stone Journer of all things. Not to mention, Berserker gets a lot of coverage moves, and I had Wide Guard on it too, just in case of any spread moves, and be like, not today.
Like Earthquake, both of those, I mean, would be threatening.
Yes, especially on those two models. So I mean, there were a lot that were considered. It just, some of the matchups just really, well, like, it was, because I mean, even like Leafeon, like I thought if you were going to bring Leafeon, you bring Moltres. Moltres said Sunny Day, Chlorophyll comes out, Leafeon goes to town. Or even Hatterene, it could learn Mystical Fire. That's Max Flare. Chlorophyll goes off. I think Steela gets it. Let me look.
Lipard gets Sunny Day.
Lipard gets Sunny Day, but Celesteela also gets a bunch of fire type moves, so it could have set the Sun, and then Leafeon could have gone, if anything. Yeah. I'm guessing Bisharp probably learns it too, if anything.
I think it might. But I mean, yeah, I did consider Leafeon, but like those poison types, I was just like, yeah, it's not worth it. I mean, I get Dig, so I can do Max Quake, but didn't want to deal with that.
Yeah, it's definitely one and the same in a sense. Like you want things to go right at the same time you want them to go, decently in a sense like that. And in all fairness, now that I'm looking at it, I mean, if I would have brought Air Balloon on the Chandelure or the Gengar, that could have worked a little bit now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, but the issue is that's why I brought Bisharp, because Sucker Punch, I think OHKOs both of them potentially. Maybe not with Akaberry, but I was Max Attack Adamant, so.
Yeah, most likely on that. Then
probably the Ghosts, but I did expect some of the Ghosts to come out, surprisingly, because for Hatterene. But yeah, surprisingly, didn't see him.
Yeah, looking next up for you, you've got the Tyranitar Sauces, which, looking at his team, early reports, you got Sandrush ×2.
Yeah.
You got Sandrush ×2, Fake Out with the Raichu. I doubt you'll see the giant blue whale that isn't to scale in the game, sadly.
Mm-hmm.
Don't think Galarian Slowpoke is a thing. Really, all I can see right here is he literally has a Sand Core. He's got Dracozolt with Sandrush, Excadrill with Sandrush, and Tyranitar to set that sand and let them go to town.
Yeah, that is kind of scary, but it looks like it'll be a weather war or something, and that Raichu really scares that Boltund too. So, it'll be interesting. I haven't done any prep yet for it.
Not to mention with the Dracozolt. I mean, if it has Sandrush, all you gotta do is just change the weather, and then you can, because technically it can't really do anything to you, and you that's actually false. I think it does get high horsepower and stuff like that. So it
gets stopping tantrum. I don't know if it gets high horsepower, but it might.
It very much might, but that's for another time. I mean, my next opponent, I got to deal with the follow me strategy most likely.
Who do you have?
The Iron Bashing Melmetals, and he's got.
Oh, right.
He's got G-Max Dura, Palito, Togekiss, Aegislash, Mamo, Gigas, Kara, Costa, Decidueye, Vapo, Absol, and Combuskin.
I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of an odd team. I'm wondering how you'll prep for that, because it's kind of a group of misfit toys.
Well, the fun thing is he's never brought Aegislash or Mamo yet, which is interesting.
He faces. I think he faces Sakimoto in the Tyranitar sauces. So it'll be interesting to see how he does in that game.
Yeah, it'll be interesting for sure. I mean, and at the end of the day, like I always say to my opponents, is like, as long as I gave them a good matchup. I mean, I know like people want to bash on opponents and whatnot. But my thing is, like, as long as my opponent had a good matchup and they had fun, I'm content with the results.
Yeah, no, that was a fun match for sure. It was interesting to prep for, but ultimately I kind of looked at Celesteela and I said, "Wow, Celesteela goes to town here." So that was just kind of my strategy.
Yeah, I mean it's amazing at what the Ultra Beast can do, and I'm learning so much.
I've never used them before either, so that's
you and me both. You and me both. Literally, when I picked that Celesteela in that other draft, I kid you not, it was just because I had seen it in the Showdown draft. I'm like, up until about I want to say 5 or 6 weeks ago, which is when that league was still in, and I battled that. I only caught the Ultra Beasts just because they were in the Sun and Moon storyline. That's it. I never even touched them in the box. And because I had no idea what Beast Boost did. I thought it was just like you could set up and get like stat boosts, but I didn't know what it did. Like I thought like if you like how I said I run a Totemize on it. Like if I do +2 with a Totemize and I knock an opponent, it goes to +3. I didn't know it was whatever its base stat, its highest base stat was because I never used them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if I'm gonna go down, I'm gonna go down to aliens. That's what I'm looking at because last week lost to a dancing clown deciding to blow up a disco ball.
Yeah, you've had some rough matches with these Ultra Beasts.
Yeah, what? Hey, I live to serve. I live to serve the alien overlords. Take me to your leader. I will take you. Yeah. Anyway, I want to thank you for joining, boss. Check out the battle from Goomer's side. It'll be up on his channel. I'll have a link in the description below. And you got anything else to say to the people?
Nope. It's good luck in your next week, and thanks for the good match.
All right.